I'm making this video because I want you guys to know that this upcoming election cycle, I'm not going to make 50,000 ridiculous political videos about all of these ridiculous puppets that they keep parading around in front of us in this bread and circuses. Because I'm not going to waste my time, and you shouldn't waste yours either. The system is not just flawed or kind of corrupt. The system is broken. It's broken. It's not going to be fixed by voting. You cannot fix this with voting. In fact, your participation in this, as George Carlin says, is your affirmation that you want to continue being a part of this broken, irrevocably broken and corrupt system, okay? It's not going to be fixed no matter who you vote for. They're all corrupt. They're all sold out. They're all puppets for bankers and multinational corporations. Period. It's very simple. It's a pond, and the scum rises to the top. And your choices are that scum. That's it. There's nothing else you really need to know about that, okay? And the fact that there are people trying to sell you that this guy or that girl is going to come up in here and fix this, it's not. It's broken. It can't be fixed. Shellac it all you want. Go get some Scotch tape. It's not going to be fixed, okay? Take Rand Paul, for example. Rand Paul has been hanging out with George P. Bush, and they're hitting up the multicultural vote, right? They're trying to get the Hispanic Republican vote because that's all cool and trendy. He's also been hanging out with Karl Rove and having secret meetings on Mackinac Island with a lot of bigwigs. Go ahead and figure out what's going on behind those doors, okay? And if all of that's not enough for you just to see like the kind of scum he's been hanging out with, because I know everyone has this delusion in their mind that he's going to infiltrate because he's so smart. He's going to get in there and infiltrate. Are you really? You buy that still? You really believe that that's what's going on? Okay? Fine. Then why don't you explain to me why just a few months ago, Lil Rand was up there talking about how Obama needs to prioritize the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Instead of just talking about a so-called pivot to Asia, what we need to do is prioritize negotiating the Trans-Pacific Partnership by year's end.
We have done reports on the TPP before, so I'm not going to go over all of that here because I got other douchebags to get to. But suffice to say,
President George W. Bush understood that part of the projection of American power is exporting American goods and culture. He successfully brokered 14 new free trade agreements and negotiated 3 others.
The TPP is nothing less than an all-out assault on our national sovereignty. Period. Okay? It doesn't even have hardly anything to do with trade. It is bad. And if he wants to prioritize the bad, he is also bad. It's very simple. It's like kindergarten level simple, okay? Bad, right? Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, I have a bulleted list of things about Ted Cruz, so this one's actually going to take me a little while. There's a lot about what's wrong with Ted Cruz. First of all, he rose to power as an advisor and attorney for George W. Bush during the 2000 elections. He is who helped George W. Bush win in the Supreme Court in 2000, just by the way. And that's where he met his wife, Heidi Cruz, who's also a Bush advisor, but guess who else she is? She's also Goldman Sachs, and she's also a Council on Foreign Relations member.
There's been a lot of talk about the Council on Foreign Relations and its influence on policy, both within the Beltway and outside the Beltway. What are your feelings about the CFR?
I think the CFR is a pernicious nest of stinks.
And just in case that doesn't suck enough for you, she actually co-authored the CFR's blueprint on the North American Union. And I think it was called Building a North American Union, okay? Isn't that all you really need to know? But no, it gets better for Mr. Cruz because he parades around in this Tea Party cloak of, libertarian light or whatever it is he's got going on. And he talks about how he's just a big proponent of the Constitution. He also has written in his own amicus briefs that the assault weapons bans in Connecticut, New York, and Massachusetts are, quote, in his words, reasonable regulations. That's not me saying that. That's Ted Cruz saying that in his own amicus briefs, which he has filed with the courts, okay? So you tell me. That doesn't sound very pro-Second Amendment if you ask me, all right, Mr. Liberty over there, okay? On top of that, he is also, as a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, voted for the NDAA. Not against it, for it, while he was on that committee, all right? And, oh, by the way, the new one, the 2014 one, was a new land grab for the federal government. They got another 250,000 acres they're going to protect as wildlife, but they're going to use it for military designation. So he voted for that, okay? He's also voted for Russian sanctions. And he's also come out to say that he thinks the puppet government that we put in Ukraine is just swell.
In my view, America should stand with Ukraine and against Russia's acts of war, against Russia's invasion of Ukraine, against Russia's active undermining of security. In my view, we should be helping provide the Ukrainian people with the tools and equipment necessary to defend themselves. And I'm hopeful in time that can expand beyond right now their immediate challenges of defending yourselves.
But what about lethal assistance, yes or no?
Yes. You know, I am fully supportive of increasing sanctions against Russia.
So he's a real great guy, okay? If you want to vote for another puppet, because he's just bullshit otherwise. He is. And Sarah Palin, oh my God. I mean, the fact that I even saw that she's thinking of doing anything with higher up, I don't even want to have to sit here and waste my time arguing why you should not get behind Sarah Palin. If I have to do that, I'm going to weep for the stupidity of America, okay? Let me just say one sentence. I got one sentence for Sarah Palin, and then I'm going to move on with this argument. Sarah Palin, Henry Kissinger was Sarah Palin's handler, okay? That's all you need to know about Sarah Palin, okay? If that sentence doesn't mean enough for you, then you probably shouldn't even be watching this video because you got a few more steps before you can even get to the information I'm telling you right now, okay? Henry Kissinger was Sarah Palin's handler. That is all you need to know. And it just, I don't know what else to say. Like, we cannot keep getting on this bus of like, oh, well, the Republicans are going to save us from all the horrible stuff the Democrats did. Because that's what we did with Obama. Remember back in 2008 with the hope and the change? Because everyone was pissed off at George W. Bush. Now they're trying to fix his legacy with the did you miss me yet? But he sucked too. They suck. They all suck. They're all puppets and they're all bullshit. And none of them are going to do anything that they say because they don't give a crap about you, the American people. What they give a crap about is the bankers and multinational corporations they represent and are owned by. Period. That's it. That's all you really need to know. Case in point on that, okay? Now we have Republicans in the Senate, so now it's, oh, the Republicans are going to save us, and they got the Keystone Pipeline thing going on, and that's going to be good for American energy independence and American jobs, right? That's how they've sold it to everyone, right? Then explain to me why the Senate Republicans voted against keeping U.S. steel jobs in the bill, against American jobs in the bill, why they voted against using the oil in the United States, against, not for, against. And, oh, just on top of all of that, they also happen to vote against disclosing who among them is getting contributions from said mega oil and mega corporations involved in the pipeline project. What does that mean? It's because they're all bullshit. I keep telling everybody this. We have said this for a long time. They're either going to get Jeb Bush in here, or they're either going to get Hillary Clinton in here. And they might go ahead and dangle in front of you a Ted Cruz or a Rand Paul as a VP or something, or maybe even Sarah Palin if they're super desperate. But the people that own this country, the people that George Carlin would say are the owners, do you honestly think they're really going to let someone in here who gives a crap about the Constitution? Hell no, okay? So please stop getting on this bandwagon every time. It hurts me that you won't just accept the fact that no matter what you vote all day, vote till you're blue in the face like a Smurf. It is not going to change how completely corrupt and broken and crappy this system is. It is not going to change it. Do you like to hit yourself in the face with a shovel or run over yourself with a bus? Because that is basically what you're doing when you get your hopes up only to have them dashed once again in another flawed BS American election. They're all bullshit. Sorry, that's just the way it is. And anyone who tells you different is a liar. Okay? Sorry, it's just the way it is. And if we, the American people, would just accept that fact and shun and turn our backs on this entire broken system, something might actually change. But if we just continue to put ourselves in this process again and again and again and again, like little hamsters in a wheel, they're going to continue to destroy everything all around us, basically. So that's really all there is to say.